Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to InfraSpace. We are on episode number 3. Quick reminder to like, comment, and subscribe as we get started on this one. It is really up to the first few episodes of a series whether the algorithm is going to pick it up at all. And as this is a small channel, just a little under 3,000 subscribers at the time of filming this, the algorithm does not pick me up naturally at all. So your likes, comments, and subscriptions made during this episode, during this series, make a world of difference on whether others see it or not. And if you like seeing it, others need to see it as well for me to be continuing on with the series to its completion. So put 2 and 2 together and we get like, comment, subscribe. Okay, well, let's get back to the action. We just upgraded to a small town, therefore unlocking a whole bunch of additional research options for us. Right now we have 5 available options. I have not looked at these yet. We have large buildings. This one specifically is a park. I know we need that for upgrading to a large town. The aluminum mine. Okay, that's unlocking a whole new area, which will, I'm sure, put us towards getting computers made. I would assume that's going to take electronics and aluminum. Seems to be the likely suspects for that one. Power substations. Okay, into your power network, so you won't have to supply every building with power poles. That's actually not really a big deal at all. Motors. A motor factory. Okay, and then that leads to large mines. That's going to get us bigger equipment, more effective equipment, so that's probably not a bad place to go. 4-lane roads, though, is massive, as well. We already discovered in the last episode that transportation, it's huge, it's key, and 4-lane roads are going to make a big difference on that one. So let's go ahead and begin with 4-lane roads, and then I think we can start working in towards the aluminum mining and the motors before getting to these smaller items. Now, short term, we just hit our 300 level 3 citizens, and it's going to be a long while before we get to level 4. In fact, we need 1,000 citizens for that. I would start expanding right away. However, looking at this, we don't even have the jobs that we need, so I think we need to do a fair bit of regular expansion before we get into anything. I mean, you can see we've now been hovering for a good hour at the level we're at as we were building towards that and getting that population up where it needed to be, taking care of that housing. That immigration rate had dropped to almost nothing, but never negative. It was still above 0. But let's go ahead and take a look and see where we're at in terms of production, because, well, we focused on a couple of key things, primarily traffic and dealing with the headache of that situation. So I have not ventured into kind of this path for a little while. Sand is hurting a little bit. I think we could definitely get away with doing some sand, and we don't, well, I don't know, sand's gonna feed directly into like these concrete factories, so maybe we can use this little pocket right out here and we can get right in. It's probably a good way to do that. Yeah, there you go. We can add a couple more in right there without interfering with anything, and that brings that number right on up. Well clear of the mark right now. Sulfur is good. Concrete's definitely good. In fact, our numbers are going up. Ooh, hello, research complete. Wow, that was fast. Okay. Oh, highways. Hell yeah. Okay, highways it is. We will take full advantage of those 2 opportunities. Iron, that's clear enough for now. Carbon is also, I think, good to go. Copper, you know what, that's high enough. Electronics is doing okay. This is awfully tight though. Home appliance, let's get one more home appliance building, and we have 6 right now. This will put us on 7. I think we can kind of start scooting away from where we're located right now, as where we're located is a little bit problematic. I can get all three if I go right there. So let's go ahead and do that. That does mean we're going to need to move our power pole. Alright, that gives us a little more clearance. It's still not a lot, but it is enough for a while. Research. Okay, food. Food isn't looking so hot, but it's really not looking too bad. But we can add in, I don't know, 2 more? Is 2 more good? That gives us plenty for now. Carbon, maybe 1. And that brings the jobs up a little close to where we're at housing-wise, so that's probably a good thing, good combination. And now we can focus on what we just unlocked, which is we have some options here. We have 4-lane concrete roads. I love how now we have our road coming in this way, and you can see they're taking the right hand lane, and then everybody from here is able to kind of double up, which shortens the line a bit, and then they all just turn into the left hand lane, so they're not having to merge until they're actually going into the storehouse itself. Now, do we have any other traffic nightmare spots that need to have something done with it? I mean, that's a pretty big road here. I think widening that would probably be a good thing, as that is a definite highway. We're going to be unlocking highways soon though, so maybe we need to wait until we actually get highways unlocked. So the one thing that I'm seeing slowing us up a little bit here is the fact that we don't have a ton of green research. So why not add some more? We'll see what happens by adding more, where that puts us in terms of usage on other things, but we had plenty. Green circuits though, now you can see now we're barely ahead of the curve. So let's go ahead and get some more green circuits on the go. I think pushing this way out to here is going to help for these green circuits. Though it does use iron, I kind of want to stay away. Yeah, there you go. See, the iron's going to come straight through, and that's going to be a little easier on the network, not clogging right through here. Iron, silver, sand, all still good to go. Power, we still have a bit of wiggle room, though we could probably use a little more power. The copper is getting a little closer, maybe 1 more copper. And one thing I have picked up on is we are now, jobs-wise, nearly maxed out on what we have in terms of housing, so time to see that naturally evolve as well. Okay, with highways unlocked, we're really going to open our options to deal with the logistics side of stuff, and so we're going to be working on that for a little while. In the meantime, it's either motors or aluminum mining. I think we'll start with the aluminum mining, though I do think these are the push towards large town, and I don't necessarily need that, so maybe it's motors first and large mines, and then we'll start working on expansion after that. I think that's just faster roads is all that's going to be. It's just tier 3 roads. Yeah, it's just higher speed limits is all. Oh, it won't connect to the highway. Alright, so I finally figured out that highway system, and it does make perfect sense that you cannot attach buildings to the highways directly. And used to a highway system that can kind of do either. So it took me a second to catch on to that. But now that I've caught on, it just speeds up the highways, but again, you can't attach anything. So a side road like this for your cement factories clears that up. Power, not a problem because you're not actually doing anything with it, but we're speeding up the traffic along here. Though you can see at the moment anyway, it is intensifying the traffic down in this area, but we'll worry about that later. Now what we do have here is a motor factory, and that looks like that's going to be copper and steel. That's not cement. That's the steel factories over here. And copper is up this way. So somewhere in between seems like the natural place to put this. We can maybe try to squeeze it in down here. However, I think that's a little problematic in our goals and objectives. So I think we want to put this up here beyond the green circuits and okay, so motors, that's only at 0.13. That is not actually a lot. We have a lot of iridium around here. Uranium, there's more iron up here. And actually, you have copper and iron close together. That's not a bad thing, actually. Having those close together like that, you might want to restructure this by moving it into this area and combining them there. Right now, one thing we're definitely discovering is there's not simple solutions to the transportation. You need a carefully planned out grid, and throwing everything in close together, not necessarily a good thing. Having them a little further apart, yeah, not a bad way to go. Spreading things out and then running some highways, now that we have highways to connect it all up, makes the transportation side of things much easier. Spreading out, opening up your grid, I think is definitely going to be the way to go long term and ease those burdens that we have ultimately created. So in this case, I think I'm going to go with the why not scenario for the moment, as that research is completed. We're going to put this in this pocket up here. Okay, let's go ahead and get research moving again, as large mines are now ready. I think I'm going to do the power substations and kind of work our way up. Alright, so the goal here, open a whole new production chain with everything local that we need to produce some motors, and see how that does for us, because this should not place any burden on the lower network that we have. And you can see with highway surrounding it, things are going to move quite quickly and shouldn't come with any issues. So we're creating a new stop on the highway at doing everything, and all that we needed was either the carbon, which came from the oxygenator, or we have our copper and our iron not too far away, and that's producing everything we need right here. So the motors themselves, I don't know if they're going to go into storage or not, but having a storage unit out here is useful. We'll see if anything actually gets brought to it or not. Not really a big deal on that part. You can see we're also pushing the jobs kind of close to the housing network for now, so we will probably want to deal with that yet again. And I think we have plenty here. Let's throw up a big sign. Can we throw up a big sign? Oh, nice. We get to choose our text. I like that. Where to put this guy? Doesn't need to snap onto anything. I think we could just get him out here. It's a little odd that despite all the steel we're producing, we're still not getting steel to these motor factories here. Maybe I want to just move them up there. So we're already finding that this is working better. Okay, so we've unlocked power substations as well. Oh, nice. Okay, that takes out a lot of power poles. Covers a whole area. And in terms of research, we've already completed 5 of the 8 research categories in Small Town. We're also going to now begin that process of preparing to become a large town. And that process, well, that's going to take us a little bit. 1, it's 3 research items, but 2, in order to upgrade, we're going to need 1,000 citizens at level 4. Of course, the 2 things, the computer and the park that we need, are going to come from those last 3 research items. So there's that factor, but we also need to be pushing to 1,000 citizens, and right now we're not even quite halfway there. So step 1, let's get this to the halfway point. Might as well, right? We'll put these guys on this row, and yes, I will put that right there. Okay, it looks like I could actually get a whole nother row down the middle, or at least 3 of them. Wow, we already have the aluminum mine done. That was done really fast. The large buildings, including the park. We have our computer factory and microchip factory are the other ones there. Let's go ahead and get the park going first. But that's the big step. So as we go forward, that's the big step to get us set up. We're at the halfway point in terms of population, and we have unlocked what we needed going forward. We also now have the aluminum mine. We're going to have to find where some aluminum is to get that on the go. Also, I added in a sign. It's not access to the road. It was having some issues. I can't get it to, even when I brought a road out here, I can't get it to snap onto the road. So it is what it is. We're going to have to go find some aluminum. And I just don't know where the aluminum is. So I'll have to do some hunting for that. And at this point, we don't necessarily need it for anything just yet. And of course, highways are easy enough to connect things up, so it won't be a big deal to get that, bring that where we need it to be when the time comes. But in the meantime, those habitats are very quickly upgrading. It's going to push us towards that 500 plus. Jobs are well behind those, so we're going to need some jobs for our pops to, make them happy. But right now, currently, the game doesn't have a happiness factor, though it will. It will have that eventually. That is something planned. This is in early access after all. But like I said at the beginning of the episode, this is the final important step. The first 3 episodes are the key for the algorithm on whether it's going to pick up a series or not and give it a little push, give it a little bump out there. So please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.